Hello.
Yes.
Yes, hello.
I was asking you, were you able to finish that assignment?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good, good. Let me open the document.
Okay.
Yes. I was talking about sending the data from one servlet to another servlet, right?
Right.
Right.
And with request parameters, I obtained the user data that was supplied from a login page into one servlet, login servlet.
Yeah.
Yes.
From login servlet, I maintained a link to response servlet. And in response servlet, I tried displaying the name that was entered by user on login page.
Yes.
Yeah.
So request parameters did not work there. It means the request data that is associated with the get request is available with the login servlet, but not on the response servlet. It means the logged in user data name has to be carried to response servlet so that response servlet would display name.
Yeah.
We could do that by using the hyperlink add as key value pairs query string, right?
Right.
Now let me do it second way. Second way is by using attributes. So attributes, so let me open one document to check whether something is available for the document. Attributes. Yes.
Are we doing 1 hour session or more than 1 hour?
1 hour session.
Okay.
Why, do you have any plans?
Yeah.
Fine, I will not consume your time. 1 hour is enough.
It's alright. It's alright. I just wanted to confirm the people I have an appointment with.
Yes, yes, you can. I'll be winding up my session in next 54 minutes.
Okay.
Fine, attributes in Servlet. So here, let me increase the font size. Yes. So here, an attribute is an object that can be set and get or removed from one of the following scopes. So in application, there are various scopes: request scope, session scope, application scope. Okay.
Okay.
Request scope in the sense the user would generate a request and the data that is associated with that request is valid for only that request.
Okay.
That data associated with request 1 is not available with request 2. Got it?
Got it.
Because requests are two different objects. Request 1, request 2. Okay.
Okay.
Then we have session. So session means the thing is, let me explain you with an example. You open your mail account. Assume you have Gmail account, Gmail email ID. You give your username, password, and click on login button. You log in and you can see your inbox mails.
Yeah.
after logging in, you click on drafts. So your drafts are open, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You click on sent items. Your sent items are open, right? Not your friends.
Yeah.
Absolutely, right?
Right.
Right.
So the time when you logged in, from the time to the time you log out. So if the period of time, for that period of time, the Gmail application is able to remember you. So you are the person who is clicking on your sent items, on your inbox, and on your trash, on your labels. Got it?
Got it.
Got it.
So that period of time where the application server is able to remember you, that period of time is known as session.
Session.
Okay.
So for a session, for a period of time, the data would be preserved. So that's what attributes. Okay. It means
Alright.
you can put some data as an attribute. Attribute is nothing but an object. When you say object, it has the properties, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So that attribute can be set into the scope, session scope, or request scope, or application scope. I'll explain you what application scope is soon.
Okay.
So you can put some data. Likewise, the data which you have put can be obtained with help of get method. Okay.
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 And the data that is set can be removed also. Remove attribute. So there are methods: set attribute, get attribute, remove attribute.
Remove attribute.
Okay.
Okay.
Attribute is nothing but an object.
Okay.
Fine. Okay. These two, request scope and session scope, are okay, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Application scope means the attributes are valid for or available for entire application. It means in your application, so the users are accessing your application. So there may be n number of users. Those n number of users also can access the data that is available for the application. For the entire web application, it means. Okay.
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 So application scope is the largest one, right?
Yeah.
And session scope is a limited one compared to application scope. There is restricted, right?
Right.
Particular session. So your session or my session, because
Okay.
I can log in to my Gmail account. So Gmail would preserve my data for certain period of time, right?
Right.
Right.
And request is more limited, right? For one particular request.
Yeah.
Right. So the servlet programmer can pass information from one servlet to another servlet using these attributes. Okay.
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 So I am highlighting it. Right. Then it is just like passing object from one class to another class, so that we can reuse the same object again and again. Okay.
Okay.
Attribute specific methods of servlet request, HTTP session, and servlet context. So I spoke about request, right?
Yes.
This request is nothing but a technically servlet request it is. Okay. Session technically is nothing but HTTP session it is. Okay. Application is nothing but a servlet context. Do you remember? Whenever I say servlet context, it is nothing but entire web application.
Yeah.
In short, we call it as application. And all these three are interfaces.
All right. Yeah.
And there are four. So these are the following methods that are associated with the attributes. You can see here, public void set attribute. Okay.
Yes.
Here you can see they are key value pairs kind of thing. Okay.
Okay.
This is the object which I am setting in a request or session or application. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
This object I am giving a key here. It's a string. Okay.
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 You just think as key value pairs. Now some other user or some other servlet can access the data using get attribute, and you pass this key. Okay, got it?
Oh,
Got it.
And it is there, and get attribute is returning java.lang.object.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then get init parameter names. Last class we have seen parameter names, right?
Yes.
Likewise, we have init parameters, get init parameters. We will see by example what these init parameters are soon.
Okay.
Init parameters are nothing but initialization parameters. Initializing what? Maybe a servlet or maybe a context.
Yes.
So we will look by example. Okay. Always the get parameter names or get init parameter names return type is an enumeration collection. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And remove attribute. So this is the key you are giving. This key.
Yeah.
So it removes the value object associated with that name. Okay, done.
Done. Good.
Now let us back to our example. Shall I write that code regarding the attributes in the same example, or do you want me to create new application with the same login servlet, login HTML, and response servlet?
I think it can use the same code.
Same code. Okay. Here, let me close the rest of the things because there will not be any confusion.
Okay.
So my login demo resources. So login servlet, and where is my response servlet?
It's not
Login demo 2 it is. Yes, login demo 2 it is. Let me close this. I open login HTML and Java resources, source, login servlet, as well as response servlet, and web XML. So these are the components associated with our application, right?
Yeah, right.
And welcome file list I have configured login.html.
Yes.
Right. Observe here. Let me open login HTML. So in login HTML, you are going to provide first name, last name. Done?
Yes. Yeah.
And it goes to login servlet, right? With the help of this action. Get into login servlet.
Yeah.
Now, I am going to create the user object here. In source, in servlets, I am going to create a package, new package. I call it a servlets demos, servlets. I say the package as beans. Okay, Java beans.
All right.
I have a package now. Inside this bean, I am constructing a class. Nothing but I am creating a bean. Okay. Bean class is nothing but a class with a name user. Okay. Because user data I am collecting, right? First name, last name. And I don't need a main method. And finish. Got it? I have a user here.
Got it.
Right? Now in this user, string first name equals to null. Better say it is private string. Then private string last name equals to null. Okay. I need setters and getters. Source, generate setters and getters for this. Okay.
Okay.
This is how we get generate setters and getters. Press OK. And you can see these first name, last name can be set with the help of setter, and we can obtain the values with the help of getters. Right?
Right.
Fine. Now let me get into login servlet. Login servlet. Yes, observe here. In my login page, there were fields in the form, 2 fields, first name, last name, right?
Right.
Assume it is a registration page. So user registration page. So user is going to provide data like user first name, last name, date of birth, address, contact number, qualification, his blood group, and so on. I assume around 15 fields of data we are collecting during registration. Okay.
Okay.
It means those 15 fields of information has to be obtained, and it has to be posted in the database finally, right?
Right.
So always you should write a request.get parameter, request.get parameters in suppose assume 2-3 servlets are involved in this process. That is obtaining the information and posting that in the database.
Yes.
Then in every servlet you need to write a request.get parameter, and with a URL here, I mean href, you need to add those 15 parameter key values, right?
Yes.
Right.
It becomes a headache, right?
Yeah. Many things. Yeah.
Better thing is you put all these 15 fields value and make one object. Okay.
Okay.
And pass that object from login servlet to response servlet, and from there to finally to database.
Okay.
That becomes simple, right?
Yeah, it becomes simple.
We are doing that now.
Okay.
Right. So here, so task 1, task 2, you have done, and I am writing the code. And here, fine. Create a bean object. So I am creating a bean object. User equals to new user.
Yeah.
Okay. And this user is present in separate package. We need to import it. This done.
Yeah.
And create this user better. You create this. Okay. All right. And location is also fine. So from here now, whatever the data I obtained from first name, last name from form, that is present here, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now take this first name, last name and put in this user object. User dot set first name. Okay.
Yeah.
Likewise, user dot set last name. Done. And last name.
Okay.
Done. Now we have the user object with the first name, last name inside it. Likewise, if there are 15 fields of information for a user, you can put that user dot set 15 times, right? All the 15 data, and you make one user object. Done. Right. Now put this user object into the request scope. Okay. Request scope. How to do that? Request dot set attribute. Okay,
Yeah.
set attribute and put what is it, user object, right? I say user object. That is a string, right?
Yeah.
String, user object, and nothing but this user, right? I mean this user. You can see it gets highlighted.
Yeah.
Now
Okay.
I get into, so I will comment this line. I will comment this line. I take this. I just mention only this href, not this data. Okay.
All right.
So href like this and like this, anchor tag, done, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And I go to
Response.
response servlet, and here so I got the request by using the previous thing, right? Instead,
Yeah.
I will obtain the object now. Okay,
Yeah.
the object now. So obtain the attribute, request attribute, obtain the object, user object from the request attribute. Okay, so how do we do
Okay.
that? Request whatever I am writing here, request dot get attribute, and I gave the string user object right over there, right? I have given that user object, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean this piece of string.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I gave that piece of string here, and this will return java.lang.object, but actually it is a user object, right? So I need to
Yeah.
typecast it. User.
Yes.
What user?
User.
This user. And here I am constructing the user object. Okay. Got it?
Okay.
Got it.
So from this you obtain string first name equals to user dot get first name. Okay.
Yeah.
String last name equals to user dot get last name. Done.
Done.
Okay.
That's it. Now welcome first name. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let me execute this. So finish. I got login page.
Mm.
So Alexander Graham Bell. Click on register. Okay, there is a visit link. Now I am going to click on visit link. Observe there something went wrong. So read the error message. HTTP status 500. Okay.
Okay.
The server encountered an internal error that prevented it from fulfilling the request.
Mm.
So, null pointer exception. The same thing is available here, in here also. Okay.
Yes.
Null pointer
Okay.
exception. Where this null pointer exception? So, response servlet Java 47. So let me check here. Yes. While analyzing the exceptions, it is advised to read from bottom to top. Okay.
Mm. Okay.
So somewhere here, which talks about our classes. Right. HTTP servlet, response servlet, somewhere here. User.get first name. So we are getting null. It means the user object is not seen here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it means the data which we have set with a request here, request dot set attribute, is not available with this response servlet.
Yeah.
The thing is, the request data whichever I have set is available to login servlet only. From here it has to go to response servlet. This is our intention. So here visit is, let me show you. Yes, back. So here you can see I am clicking back again. Observe carefully. I am the user. I am Alexander Graham Bell. I have given my name. Okay.
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 I am clicking on register. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now with that request, request which I clicked on register, the username and the first name and last name are associated with that request. R1,
Mm-hmm.
assume R1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And here I am going to click here, visit to. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is second request. Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
So R2. Okay.
Mm.
Got it.
Got
Got
it.
it.
So R1 and R2, two different requests.
Two different requests.
So data is not available with the second request.
Yeah.
We will work out on this. Data would be available in response servlet when the same request that was R1, the same request is forwarded to response servlet.
Yes.
Got it?
Okay.
Got it.
One request is generated and it is given to login servlet.
Mm.
If login servlet is forwarding the same request to servlet to maybe response servlet for us, okay,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
then data associated with that request would be available to response servlet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Likewise, if response servlet is further forwarding the same request to some other resource, assume,
Mm.
and that request data is available to that what is that, servlet 3, servlet 3.
Yes.
Got
Yeah.
it?
Got
Yes.
it.
So it means the same request is being forwarded from servlet 1 to servlet 2, servlet 2 to servlet 3, and like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it?
Got it.
Got it.
So to achieve that, we need to depend upon servlet communication.
Mm-hmm.
That is, one servlet would be communicating to another servlet. Okay.
Mm. Yes.
Okay.
So along with these attributes, we need to cover that servlet communication also.
Okay.
Before going to servlet communication, Servlet config and servlet context I want to work out. Let me go through servlet communication. Just a minute. Login servlet. So instead of maintaining a link here, so we need to use dispatcher object. So request dispatcher object we say. Yes.
Okay.
Let me do that. Yes. With this, what is happening is visit link, a new request is generated over there. New request is generated. Request associated with R1 is not available with R2.
R2, yes.
Because we have set the attributes for request scope. So R1 and R2 are two different requests, right?
Yeah,
For
right.
this reason, we are unable to get the data in response servlet.
Yeah.
Now I am working out with the request dispatcher object. So request dispatcher object is used in servlet communication. Servlet communication is nothing but you can see, I'm just explaining you. There is a web container. In that there are multiple servlets. Okay.
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 Request R1. Yes, let me write here. Today's date is 22nd 2015. So I have a container, and in this request R1, so request R1. So request R1 is sent to a servlet. Assume servlet 1. Okay. Servlet 1 is supposed to provide a response.
Yeah.
Servlet 1 can further send this request to servlet 2. Servlet 2. The thing is, servlet 1 may be processing some of the request, and it there is another servlet which can process the request. So servlet 1 is forwarding the request to servlet 2. Servlet 2. And the servlet 2 yes, servlet 2 would process the same request. You can see same request R1. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And if needed, assume there is servlet 3 which has to process. Servlet 2 can forward to servlet 3. And servlet 3 finally is going to give a response to client. Okay. So the client which has sent the request is now expecting a response. Now this response is processed by 3 servlets internally. Okay.
Okay.
So the same request is being forwarded to, got it? Got it?
Got it. Got it.
Now we can do that using request dispatcher object. Request dispatcher object. This request dispatcher object has 2 methods: forward and include.
Okay.
We have seen forward here. Okay.
Yeah.
I can explain include also here with the same scenario here. You can see, assume request R1 is sent to one servlet. This servlet 1 can include a response that is done by servlet 2 into its servlet 1. Got it?
Got it.
Got it.
To process this request R1. So servlet 1 is including the response of servlet 2 here inside it, and then give a response back to
Client, yeah.
So here, Servlet 2's response is included inside this. Including the other servlet's response, and then finally giving this response to client. Got it?
Got it.
So generally the servlets are for processing, nothing but giving a response. They will make the response. So Servlet 2 is making a response. That response is included in Servlet 1. That is nothing but this one.
Yes.
And this is nothing but the forward. Okay?
Okay.
Yes. Now let me do that. I am obtaining a request dispatcher object. Okay?
Okay.
I am writing here. So how do we do that is on request dot get request dispatcher. You can see over there.
Okay.
Take this. So for this, it is expecting an URL over there. A URL pattern it is expecting. I will fill that. Meanwhile, let me. It is returning a request dispatcher. So dispatcher, and include this. I mean to say import this.
Yes.
It is present in Java X Servlet. Okay.
Yeah.
And it is an interface again. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So now I got the dispatcher object. Right. Okay.
Right.
From login servlet, where this right, from login servlet, to which servlet it has to go? To which servlet it has to dispatch?
To the response
servlet, right? So response servlet, go to webxml. This is the URL pattern for response servlet, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Copy it. Back. Paste here. Okay. This one, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And right here, dispatcher dot forward. What to forward? Request and response. So forward method and include method would be having two arguments, request and response.
Yeah. Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
Now this always it is disturbing me. Okay, now you can see here this would be going to response servlet directly.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Directly, I'm saying directly. Okay.
Yeah.
Where this response servlet, I have that get attribute and trying to display. Okay.
Okay.
Now let me execute this. I can use this home page, back, refresh, and refresh. Try to register. Observe there, my response servlet is now displaying welcome Alexander, and meanwhile the visit is not at all displayed here because I have written the code above that visit.
Yes.
Can you come again?
Yes.
It's, yeah. Not
My
there.
login servlet. So I have written this code below this. So while execution, what happens is step by step it executes, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
execute.
At this point, the request would be forwarded to response servlet. Okay,
Response
I mean to
servlet,
say
yeah.
at this point. Okay,
Yeah.
that is why this line is not executed.
Yeah.
And we, of course, we don't want also this line.
Yeah.
Because I want here to let you know that from one servlet to another servlet, request can be forwarded.
Yes.
Same request is being forwarded, right?
Right.
And we can see the result, Alexander. And observe in the URL, we did not see any response servlet kind of URL here.
Yeah.
Of course, our example demo2 is obviously the correct one. Login demo2, right? We are working with.
Yeah, the application.
And while using this dispatcher forward to another servlet, we don't see that here.
Yeah.
Response servlet kind of thing. Okay.
Yep.
It's internal.
And back. So I am executing it. I mean to say I'm showing here. This is my login page. And I am providing some data. And I am clicking on register button. Okay.
Okay.
Now it goes to login page. Sorry, login servlet, right? In login servlet, you can see I have obtained that request parameter data, made one user object, and set that object in request attribute. Done?
Yes.
Done.
Now, from my servlet, login servlet, I am forwarding that request to another servlet.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how I am doing that? Using dispatcher object, and I gave the URL of that.
Yes.
In response servlet, of course, I got that user object and I am displaying it, right? Hello, so and so user, and you can see the same thing as the result. This one, right?
Right.
So now is that clear? With
Yeah,
request
it is clear.
dispatcher object.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any doubts with dispatcher object?
No doubt.
I was wondering if we want to maintain our link.
Right. I'll come to that point. If I want to maintain that link, it means when you click on link, that would become second request.
Yes.
And the login user, the logged in user, observe here, Alexander is logging in, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He clicks on register button. Now, if visit link is available, of course, now I am going to click on visit link.
Yes.
Now, the server has to confirm or identify that Alexander is the person who is clicking on that link.
Yes. Oh.
It means we need to preserve the user data in an area.
Okay.
That area is nothing but session.
Oh.
We will do that using session management techniques.
Okay.
There are 4 techniques. We will work out on four techniques.
Okay.
By example. Then it becomes second request, right?
Yes.
Right.
So when it becomes a second request, how do we manage the data? It means data should be available for multiple requests that are generated by same user. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So same user, I said, right?
Yes.
Right.
This one, session. That is what you are logging into Gmail. and you are clicking on drafts, you are clicking on sent items, you are clicking on outbox, trash.
Yes.
Multiple requests are generated by you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Email server is able to identify you, right? Every request. Okay, Emma is making the request, and Gmail server is displaying your Emma's sent items, Emma's trash, Emma's outbox. Got it?
Got
Yes.
it.
Then you need to put the data in session.set attribute.
Okay.
Okay. Now there are multiple users. Multiple users are using some data which is global across the application.
Yes.
Nothing but context.
Yeah.
If you want to share data across multiple servlets, go for context.
Context.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will see that, of course, all these things.
Okay.
Fine. I came out with one thing and I ended up with the other thing. Yes. I have included many things in the sample. I hope everything is clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I mean concept-wise, request dispatcher thing and the link thing, hyperlink thing, right? With hyperlink, why we could not get the data because the data we set in attributes.
Okay.
Even though we have set in attribute, it was limited to request, one request, right?
Okay.
So prior to attributes and request, we tried using URL string, right?
Right.
Yes.
So with URL string, you can send limited data, but insecure data you can send, not secure data, because that URL string is visible on browser URL.
Yeah.
And we will see in our upcoming sessions attributes were related to request and one of you were saying visit link. I want to click on that visit link and my user data which I have given in the login page to be displayed in second servlet or third servlet.
Yeah.
We will do that using session management.
Okay.
Fine. Then yes, set attribute. Okay. Then we need to work out on servlet config and servlet context, two objects.
Okay.
Okay.
The 10 minutes is not enough to, because I want to write one example, sample application I want to make. I need 20 to 30 minutes. Shall we go in the morning?
If you have time, you can.
I have time. One of you has planned something, right? I don't want to disturb that schedule.
No, you can go on, no problem.
Can continue.
Emma, is that you had a schedule? I mean, some meeting.
Yeah, I can reschedule, no problem. I can delay like 20 minutes or 30. It's okay.
Right. Manageable, right? I mean, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Fine then. We will finish Servlet config now. Tomorrow, I mean, my early morning, we will look into Servlet context.
Okay.
Great.
Fine. So what this Servlet config is? So Servlet config is an object that is associated with Servlet. Generally, the Servlet config is used to provide configuration data for a servlet. And for one servlet, there will be one servlet config object. It means in your web application, assume there are 100 servlets. Then every servlet would be having one servlet config object. It means there will be 100 servlet config objects. And servlet context servlet context would be one for entire web application.
Yeah.
So there may be 100 servlets or 1000 servlets in your web application. Servlet context would be only one.
Yeah.
Now, with the help of servlet config, so the configuration data for a servlet. So where do we put this configuration data? This configuration data we put in WebXML. Which means we can write some data inside a WebXML and we can read the data from WebXML while initializing the servlet. Got it?
Got it.
So servlet is nothing but an object. When you say object, it has state, right?
Yeah.
That state I am going to declare in WebXML.
Okay.
And I am going to, in the sense, container is going to create the servlet object by getting the data from that WebXML. Okay?
Okay.
And who is going to supply that data means servlet config is going to. So while servlet object is getting created, servlet config object would read the data present in the WebXML and it will pass to our servlet.
Yes.
And container is going to create the servlet object then.
Okay.
Okay.
Now let me write one sample. I'm closing all these things. I don't need.
So did you finish this with the link?
I have done with that request dispatcher. I have included over there, right? Include. We have done forward with a request dispatcher.
Yeah.
I did not give an example with include.
Okay.
I will do that.
Okay.
Next, maybe with some other examples. Okay.
No worries.
I am going to create one web project, and we are looking into servlet config here, right?
Yes.
Right.
So servlet config demo I give a name. Web modules 2.5. Go for next, generate web XML, finish.
Mm-hmm.
Now in source, let me create a package. I need to create a package. So right click, go for new package. com.ras.java.servlets demos. Finish. So I am creating a servlet here.
Yeah.
Servlet. So servlet config test. Okay.
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 And here observe next. So what my servlet does is my servlet reads the config data present in WebXML. This is what it does. Okay. And you can see here, initialization parameters we have. We can add that initialization parameters here. Parameter name, value. Okay.
All right.
I am not doing that. I'll write manually.
Okay.
Because it is automated thing. Automated things becomes always easy. Instead, let us write manually.
Yeah.
Because we are learners, we have to go manually. Then we go for automated things.
Yes.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Next. And I need any one of these. I am using doGet method.
Yes.
Finish. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I have a doGet method here. Okay. Now let me open WebXML. WebXML, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Servlet config test.
Yes.
That is servlet mapping. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now I am going to write the servlet initialization parameter data. For my servlet, the initialization parameters. I'm just writing some data like email ID and phone number. Okay. I'm reading this email ID and phone number from these initialization parameters. Observe there, I am writing inside a servlet.
Okay.
You can see over there, init param. Okay.
Okay.
Close that. Init param open and close. Okay.
Alright.
Param name. Look there, param name, param value. Parameter name, parameter value. Okay.
Okay.
So I say mobile number. Okay.
Okay.
And param value, control space, param value. I give a number. So it's my number I have given. Okay.
Okay.
And sometimes this WebXML gives trouble. So actually this error has to should be vanished, but it is throwing. So during that time, what to do is cut this, save it. Okay, write again. I'm quickly writing init param, and here param name. So mobile number. Param value. Okay. Oh, still it is throwing. This error should not be available. Let me write another init param. Email ID.
Okay.
Init param. So param name, email ID. Email ID. Then param value. Right. You can see there are no errors with this. Unfortunately, this is throwing an error. Red color. Sometimes it are nice. So I write here init param and param name. Param name. Param value. Okay. And whatever the error it is throwing, I just remove this.
Alright.
Oh, why this is throwing an error here again? Invalid content was found starting with element init param, one of the of course why it is throwing error. For no reason it is throwing an error. So let me remove unwanted spaces. Give a control space. Close this. Reopen it again. Control space. No, it is troubling. Let it be. I am creating another servlet. Let us create initialization parameters while creating the servlet. Let me choose add button.
Yes.
Okay.
I create new servlet. Servlet. Config servlet I say. Next. So a servlet to read the init parameters. And I am giving here. So parameter name. So before that, let me remove these things. I don't want any errors in my web XML. Now I go back, create this servlet. Config servlet demo. Okay. Next. So a servlet to read the data, read the initialization parameters. Okay. Add, I say parameter name, mobile number, and it is okay. If you want, you can give a description, it is optional. Okay. Add another parameter, and it is email ID. Done. Next, let me take a doGet method. I don't want constructor. Finish. Okay. Now let me open the web XML. Observe there. My servlet mapping for servlet name and servlet class, which you are familiar.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my servlet mapping and my init parameters. Yes, observe there. My init parameters servlet open and servlet close, right?
Right.
Inside this, look. Config servlet demo is the servlet which I created. And to this, I have created the initialization parameters, mobile number and email ID.
Yeah.
So for my servlet, these are the init params.
Okay.
I mean, two parameters, init param, init param.
Okay.
That is why they are present inside the servlet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it?
Got it.
Just a minute, I am getting a call. Let me answer. Yes, I am back.
All right.
Okay.
I want you to observe the init parameter tags, whatever we give for each parameter, init parameter, initialization parameter, we write inside the servlet.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Now let me go to that servlet config demo. That is servlet config test, right? It's our class.
Yeah.
It is servlet config demo, right? Let me take servlet config demo and close this. Servlet config demo. Okay. So in this, we can get the servlet config object. These initialization parameters are associated with the servlet config object. Okay.
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 We need to obtain that servlet config object.
Yeah.
Servlet config object. We can do that in two ways. I am explaining you both the ways. One way is I have request object, right?
Okay.
Right.
Nothing but this request object that is present as an argument for doGet method.
Mm-hmm.
Get servlet config. Wait. Not on the request. It is directly. Not on the request. Just a minute. Right. Not on the request. Directly get servlet config object. Yes. Look there. Get servlet config object. This one. First one. So like get servlet config, we have get servlet context also. Soon we will be seeing an example with a get servlet context. For now, let me take this. Which is returning, what object it is returning?
The servlet config.
Servlet config. Let me take this. And I need to hold in servlet config object. Servlet config. This, which is present in Java X servlet. Okay. I got the config object. From this config object, config dot get, you can see here, get parameter, get init parameter. Okay. Get initialization parameter. Okay. And here you need to give the string. What string? Get into your WebXML. I need to read mobile number. Okay. Copy this. Go to your servlet config and paste here. This will give the mobile number, right?
Yes.
Right.
String.
Okay. Because get init parameter, you can see it is returning string. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Likewise, string email ID, right?
Right.
Config dot get init parameter, and here you need to give email ID. So go to WebXML. Do not type. Instead, copy the parameter names.
Yes.
Yeah.
Done. Okay. Now I need to display them. To display them, I need to construct a web page, right?
Web page. Yes.
Right.
So let me take that from the previous sample, maybe one of our servlets. So print writer, those things we needed, right? These things, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And let me remove the unwanted stuff. I don't want these things. Okay. Now you can see actually these things print writer should be above this. Then you obtain the Sublet config object and this mobile number, email ID got.
Good.
And here display them.
Yes.
Mobile number is nothing but mobile. Likewise, out.println, I need a break tag in between, or else both would be displayed
On the same line.
on the same line. Right. And
email
ID.
Mm.
That is nothing but email.
Yeah.
Done. That's
Yes.
it. I am executing my servlet, this servlet alone.
Okay.
Restart the server because WebXML is generated. So my servlet is reading the initialization parameter data.
Okay.
How it is getting with the help of config object.
Config object. Yes.
With the help of config object. And how I am obtaining the config object from inside my servlet, get servlet config. So get servlet config is written config object, and who has already created it?
Yes.
Someone should have already created, right? Because I am obtaining that object means someone should have created. That someone is nothing but container.
Yeah.
So container has created the config object, and what is present inside the config object during creation? By container. Container will read into this mobile number and email ID and prepare the configuration object. That is Sublet config object. Got it?
Got it.
That we are using here. Okay.
Okay.
This is one way. Second way is inside my servlet, outside my doGet method, here I am trying to override the init method. Observe that there is a init method with a servlet config as an argument, right?
Right.
Like that. Okay. Here we already have this config object as an argument. It means my servlet has that now, right?
That's already, yes.
Now obtain that. Obtain username, password from this. I'm not username. Email ID and mobile number from this.
From
these
that.
things.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So got it?
Okay.
I got this, and we can display that, of course, here, right?
Right.
So to display that, it is present inside
the init
method. So this mobile number and email ID to be available to my doGet method, where it has to be declared? Here.
Here, yeah, outside.
Right? String mobile. I say string email 1. Okay.
Okay.
So mobile 1, email 1. Got it?
Got it.
And here mobile 1, email 1. Got it?
Yes.
Got it.
Because if I use the same, there will not be difference between this and that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I re-execute this, or I can refresh this. Refreshing is nothing but new request is going, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
After refresh, you can see the values remain same.
Yes. Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
Got it.
So this is second way.
Mm-hmm.
So second way.
Mm-hmm.
So generally, where we go for this servlet config initialization parameters is, assume you are writing a servlet. The servlet name is database servlet.
Okay.
Okay.
And your database servlet, when its object is created, the database servlet should be ready with a database connection.
Yes.
So for the database connection, what are the things you need? URL, username, password,
Good.
driver name, right? 4 things, right?
Yeah.
Driver,
Right.
URL, username, password, right?
Right.
Right.
Declare them inside this WebXML as initialization parameter for a servlet, database servlet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you in your database servlet, write here a string driver, string URL, string password, string username. Okay.
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 Initialize them with the help of getInit parameter name. Got it?
Got it.
Okay.
Then you can obtain a connection, right? So get connection inside this doGet method. You say driver manager dot get connection, and you pass the 3 arguments: URL, username, password. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get a connection then.
Okay.
That is where we use this initialization parameters. So for a servlet, there may be some initialization data. That initialization data is declared in WebXML.
Mm-hmm.
And servlet config is going to read that, and
Right.
in my servlet I can obtain that config in either of the 2 ways
Yes.
and use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that clear now?
Yes,
Yeah.
it
It
is.
is clear.
Yes. Now suppose for servlet context, if you want to maintain some information that is accessible to all the servlets,
Yes.
then you are going to put that in context parameters. Okay.
Okay.
So where do we define these context parameters? Context parameters are available to all the servlets, right?
Okay. Yes.
So they should be outside the
Servlet.
all servlets.
Mm-hmm.
Here it would be. Got it?
Okay. Got it.
So the what is that?
Context.
Yeah. So context parameters. You can see over the context parameter. Context param. And here param name, param value.
Yeah.
Param value. Right?
Yes.
Right.
So you write here maybe phone and phone number, something. Okay? Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like this you can define n number of context parameters. So another context parameter you can define. Okay, got it?
Got it.
Got it.
And observe the location where you are defining. That is outside all the servlet and servlet mappings, because these are common to all the servlets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you come to initialization parameters, they belong to one particular servlet.
Yes.
So they are inside a servlet.
Yeah.
Got it?
Got it.
That makes sense.
Now, how do you read this context parameter data? That is, in your doGet method, we just saw get Servlet config, right? Object.
Mhm.
Yeah, get Servlet config object, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So here, Servlet context. That is this one. It's an interface again. Context equals to get Servlet context. Okay.
Okay.
Get Servlet context. This will give the context.
Okay.
And who is going to create the context object? Container. How it is
Container.
going to
Yes.
create? By reading the data present with the context parameters, if any.
Yes.
In my
Okay.
Servlet context, I got the context. From this context, similar to config, get init parameter.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Same thing you are going to do.
Okay.
You are going to do that phone number here,
Copy from there. Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So it is phone, just phone.
Yeah. Phone.
Okay.
And here that is nothing but string,
Close
phone,
to
right?
phone. Mhm.
And
Then to
semicolon, of
display.
course, at the end. Okay.
Okay.
And let me display here phone number also.
Yes. Phone.
Right?
Right.
Another break. Done. Save it.
Done.
Okay. Run it. To run that, I need to execute the application because I need to restart this server because I have modified the WebEx.
Yes.
Web page, yeah.
Got it?
Got it.
So this Servlet context also can be obtained two ways. Let me show where is that Servlet context. This is one way.
Yeah.
Second way is you need to override this init method with the config as the argument. I got the config object here, right?
Right.
From this config, dot get Servlet context.
Context. Yeah.
Okay. You will get the Servlet context here. Okay.
Phone.
Right. So you need to create the Servlet context here.
Yes.
I say context 1.
Yeah.
And I give this here.
Context.
Right.
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 Context.
From this context, so from this context, you can obtain the phone number. Context 1 dot get init parameter, right?
Yeah.
Phone. Right. This will give you phone. Right. So I need to declare it here so that it is available to get method.
Yeah.
And here display that. I say phone 1. Okay.
Okay.
And here phone 1. Right.
Right.
Go for your home page, refresh it. I refreshed it many times, of course. That is why it was reloading always. Okay.
Okay.
And you can see the output remains the same.
Yes.
Got it?
Got it.
Got it.
So with this servlet config as well as servlet context also we are done with.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
Clear? Any doubts with the
Yeah.
servlet config and servlet context? Both the ways of obtaining, and where we declare the initialization parameters with context and config, and the purpose of config and context.
Okay. Yes.
Clear?
No doubt.
Please
No doubt.
execute this sample. Execute this sample, and morning we will look into servlet chaining. That is servlet communication. Request dispatcher we have used, right?
Okay.
We have another way of communication. Send redirect.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you might have seen that while browsing, possibly while making the payments. So from one website, you might have seen some message like the request has been redirecting to some website. Did you
Yes.
notice that redirection?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is nothing but one of the ways of servlet communication. Send redirect, we say.
Okay.
Response
Alright.
is going to be send redirected to another servlet.
Mm-hmm.
We will see that by example. Okay.
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 And I am winding up my session. I'll email you this war file practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. I think a
Thank
lot
you
of
so
code I
much.
have put in this sample.
Yeah.
You can write separate samples, or if you are familiar with, you can write a simple sample also for practice. One
Yes.
sample.
Yeah.
Fine then. See you tomorrow.
See you.
Alright.
Okay. Bye bye. Have a nice day.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.